Hi everyone, Richard Robbins here. I want to talk to you today about wine and real estate. Now come on, you got to admit, they're both pretty good subjects, right? Anyway, quick story and then I'll get into the message. Mark Hornwater, who is one of our coaches, he lives in Penticton out in BC. And of course, a few weeks ago I was in BC doing our Masters Academy event, and Mark sent me a bottle of wine to my room as well as some chocolates for my wife and I, which I thought was very, very nice. Anyway, I got home and I opened this bottle of wine and I had a drink, and I thought to myself, this is a good bottle of wine. And I knew nothing, about this winery. So anyway, next thing I'm online, right, and I'm looking at this winery, and it's in the Okanagan Valley out in British Columbia. And the story was amazing. I'm reading the story about why they created this winery, and I'm reading it about the winemaker, and I'm thinking to myself, like, this is really cool. Like, the website was really cool. So I want to talk to you about what I received, because I ordered some things, but then I want to tie that into real estate. I want to tie it into branding, because I think today, like, branding and the customer experience is more important than ever before. So anyway, what ended up happening, I ended up ordering 5 bottles of wine, okay? So first of all, it shows up in this huge box, bigger box than this, and I open it up, there's styrofoam on top, there's styrofoam on the bottom, and then of course it's got this beautiful box. It's called Checkmate Winery. Now first of all, cool brand, I think you would agree, and I'm a bit of a wine nut, so I love all this sort of stuff, right? But check this out. So all of a sudden I opened it up, and as soon as you open it up, you look inside the cover. Now how cool is this? So, it's got this here, it shows you where, British Columbia and the Okanagan Valley is, but then what it does, it blows it up a little bit and actually shows you, where the grapes came from for this particular wine. So of course I get this, I'm looking at this and enjoying wine and everything about wine. I'm intrigued, right? Well, then I continue, I open it up, and inside this little package of cards. Now it tells you again about the winery and the winemaker, but it's also got a card for each bottle of wine. So this is called Queen Taken. Now I think it's called Checkmate, so they're all based around chess, Queen Taken, which this is a Chardonnay. And then of course it tells you about the grape and it tells you the whole deal, right? So I'm not going to go on and on about that, but just think there's one for each bottle of wine. There was a little card. So I thought, well, that's really cool. And then of course when you start to look at the wine, and again, I've got some bottles of red and some bottles of white, and actually let me find the one that was right here. This is the one that Mark sent to me. It's called Endgame. It's got a shorter, stubbier bottle, right? There's no wrapping around here, that you got to take off. Only the cork is in here, which I thought was sort of cool, because now you can see the cork in there. But I love the simplicity of the branding. So anyway, here's the message. When I see stuff like this, I just think to myself, like, how do we use this in real estate? How do we use these ideas? And I'm not suggesting you give away a whole bunch of wine. Probably not a bad idea. But here's what I'm saying, is that everything you do every day is creating your brand. I mean, the way you answer the phone, the way you dress, the car you drive, all of the communications you send, what your website looks like. And today, I think what's more important than ever before is the client experience. Think about Amazon. The owner, Jeff Bezos, just became the richest man in the world. He's worth over $90 billion. He just surpassed Bill Gates. And you look and you say, the experience of shopping on Amazon is easy. I think you would agree with that. It's easy to search, easy to buy, one click you can purchase. They got Amazon Prime. Like, they made it so easy, and now things are being delivered to us literally sometimes within hours. Client experience, right? We want things easy today. I went on the website, gorgeous website, made it really easy for me to buy. They had different wines packaged together. I purchased, got a really cool email after. Thank you so much for your purchase, right? And then of course it shows up in a very short period of time, considering what you usually get. So here's what I want to suggest to you. Take a look at every consumer touch point you have. I mean, when somebody calls your office, when somebody sends you an email, when you start to send out information to people, is the information valuable? Is it good looking? Is it visually attractive? When you show up to show property, are you still showing up with 8.5 by 11 sheets of printed listings that are black and white? Well, come on, that's not a good brand. You know what I'm saying? When you're doing a listing presentation, are you still using a binded package, or maybe you're starting to use your iPad or something like that? You know, when somebody gets in your car to go look at property, and I hope you're still taking them out, okay, which is a good idea, great way to build relationships, is there information about the area, about the schools, about the zoning? Like, make the client experience wonderful, that they don't have to do anything else, you got it covered. Like, so just look at every single touch point and say, when they get in your car, do you have snacks, do you have water, do you have coffee? Just all these little things. Do they show up at your office? Do you take them into a nice office? Is there a television where they can preview properties? You know where I'm going with this. You could look at every single touch point. But here's the big message. Now, who paid for all of this packaging right here? Who do you think paid for this? I think you know the answer to that, right? I paid for it. I paid for this packaging. So in other words, this winery, which did it brilliantly, they wowed me with my money. Now, they decided that they're going to have great packaging, but I bet you they charge a little bit more to cover and make a profit from all of this packaging. But because the packaging is so good, you get everybody talking about it, the experience is so good, people start to talk about it, and then people start to purchase, and price now is not much of an issue. So think about the way you get ready for a listing presentation. What do you send before you're going to meet with a buyer, when you're at the presentation, okay? After the presentation, if you didn't get the listing, or if you did get the listing, what happens right away? That the client experience is unbelievable. So people willingly want to pay you what you're worth. Think about that. Somebody serves us well in a restaurant. Do you generally give them a larger tip willingly? Yes, because of client experience. See, money is not always the issue. All we have to do is go out into the world and do a great job for people, blow their minds so they want to talk about it, and money will become less of an issue. The easy way is not necessarily the best way, okay? Anyway, I hope this was valuable to you. I know it's got wine and real estate. You're going, what's going on? But when I saw it, I thought I wanted to share this with you. And as always, remember, it's a beautiful life, everybody. Make it count.